Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something with that bed full of weeds. Come with me and let's get started. A few videos ago, I worked on weeding and fertilizing my garden beds for the 2023 season. And in the process of doing that, I had an issue with my bed back here where I could not get all of those weeds out the bed. The roots of those weeds are so massive that I couldn't get to the bottom of the roots. So I've decided I am going to redesign this area. We're going to start first by removing the current bed that's in place. The weeds are so bad that they've completely taken over my water line as well. But we are going to get this right out of here. We want to see what we got to work with as we're thinking about redesigning this area. Now this is most likely a multiple day project because it's already getting late in the day, which is okay, but at least we're getting a start. So you may see this in a couple of different clips as we redesign this space. I would like all of my beds to be completely ready to go. So the only thing I gotta do is worry about what I'm adding to those beds. So these are actual water lines for those who don't know. It's a drip irrigation system that I will find a way to reinstall into this space. These are actually pretty new beds that I created. They've only been in place a couple of years, or at least the wood of these beds is only a couple of years old. And so it's got quite a few years left on the life of it. But this has to go. I'm removing all of this dirt and I'm going to get the bed back down level to the ground with some new barrier underneath to keep the weeds from coming through. I know a lot of people don't like to use barrier, but I use barrier at the bottom and I just make sure I put enough soil up above the barrier so whatever I'm planting in this space has plenty of room to spread their legs, or their roots I should say. But these weeds and I, we're not friends. Not friends at all. We have some cloudy, rainy, wet weather coming in. So I have to take advantage of a sunny day, even though it's super wet over here. I really don't like rework, but I don't have a container to put this soil in at the moment. So I'm gonna do the best I can with what I have, and I can't find my shovel. And I have 2 shovels, but I can't find either one of them at the moment. So many weeds. Gotta take plenty of rest breaks. See, the soil looks really well. It looks good. It's just these weeds I cannot get rid of. The taproot's so long, and so it has to go. But underneath, it looks so good. All right, I'm going to find my shovel. How are you supposed to do work when you don't have a shovel? A shovel's part of how you do your work. This is a little better. Oh yeah. So one of the issues I see is that there is a cheaper weed barrier underneath, and there's a gap in between this weed barrier that I'm standing on and this cheaper felt one beside it. So that's probably part of the issue of how weeds got in here. I didn't overlap it well enough. Because it's interesting, I don't have this issue with my other beds, but I see there's a huge gap. For whatever reason, I didn't overlap them properly. I probably took a shortcut. I'll tell you, most shortcuts end up with extra work on the back end, but we're getting somewhere. All right, we're almost there. Got this spot here, and that's it, at least for that area. And now I'm gonna put some weed barrier down. Again, I purchased my weed barrier off of Amazon. It's a little more expensive, but it works. And I believe the felt side is supposed to be up, but I always put it with the green markings on the top so I can see what I'm doing, and I can line my rows up, make them nice and straight if I'm trying to put, for example, pots or something. So we're going to overlap and relap and overlap again, because I don't want this issue again. But I know with time you have to replace your fabric, but this was too soon. Oh, and getting my trusty chair. And of course, this isn't working because I need my utility knife. It's so early in the season, I don't have my typical tools in the garden with me. So it's creating a lot of additional work when there shouldn't be. I'm gonna stop complaining and I'm just gonna go get it done. I bought this weed barrier. This is a 4-foot by 300-foot roll. I've had it for about 3 years. And I mean, the size of it, I mean, it covers a lot of space. You can see all the space here where I've been using it over the past few years, as well as a few beds that's out of frame right now. But I love it. It's thick, it's heavy. It's so thick and heavy, when you're trying to put a T-post through it, doesn't want to go. I'm pretty much done with my work for the day. Once I get this cloth cut anyway. So once you've laid out your paper in the position that you want it in, so you got to make sure you got it positioned right. You just use some what do you call these? Fabric stakes, I think. And I have no idea where I got them from, so I can't put a link on these. Picked them up either from one of the box stores, Tractor Supply, Rural King, one of those type places. But I don't really know the where, and I no longer have the box. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my hammer. There's already so much fabric underneath, I cannot get the stakes to go in. All right, there you go. Get in there and stay in there. Okay. We are looking good. We're looking very good. I will be back, friends. Okay, it's been several days later and I hadn't had a chance to get back to this project. I have the weed barrier down. I decided not to change these beds because I just made them a couple of years ago. The wood's in really, really good condition. So I am going to leave them in the current layout. I've thought about a new layout, but I've changed my mind. I like my very nice straight rows for my beds. So we're going to leave it as is. I did move this 2x2 box down to this end so I can put melons or something and trail them out if need be. But we are going to start filling this bed up with some new potting soil, or should I say reusing potting soil from last year's GreenStalk. And this is what I normally do in the fall. I just take the soil from the GreenStalk and dump them right in my beds, mix it in, and then it's ready for the next season. If I'm not mistaken, this was either peppers or tomatoes that were in these four. I don't remember which one. It's got stakes in it, so it could have been either one, I don't know. And this won't be everything. I'm going to have to add more than this to it. This one got quite a few roots in it. This was definitely a pepper bed because these are pepper stalks. Now all of those stalks from the peppers will be used. They will be composted. So they're not going in the trash or anything like that. I will compost them. That'll give them a little more time to break down since they didn't break down at all over our winter months. So I don't have enough dirt to fill this bed up yet. So I'm going to move all of the soil to one side so I can at least plant, I believe onion go in this bed. Have to double check, but I can at least plant this side of the bed sometime over the next couple of days. And then I can bring in additional soil and put it on that back side. So we got the first part of the soil for this bed. We will need to add more, but I think you get the idea. I think you get the idea. This bed was fully matted with weeds that I could not get out. So I picked the whole bed up, put the beds right back down on new barrier, and I'm going to fill it all the way up. Now, I can't grow tomatoes in this bed because I just don't think it's deep enough. And with this type of weed barrier, it's not like it's going to rot away. This is going to be here for a long time. So in this bed, I'm going to plant shallow plants, plants that don't need the depth of like a tomato. Now, you would say, well, this bed's the same size as some of the other beds. Yes, but those beds have been in place long enough that I can actually go down probably 12 to 16 inches in those beds because that paper has been gone for 10 years. We will put plants that have shallow roots here. I need to add more soil first, but like I said, you get the idea. Thank you for joining me for this very short project. I'm glad we found a solution so we didn't have to continue to fight the weeds that were in this bed. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. There's plenty more videos to come. Thank you, and until next time, have a wonderful, blessed day. Goodbye.